Right, guys, here we are, MMA UK News. Obviously, myself, Stoomboy, as always, for the MMA UK BJJ show. So, talking, as we've been talking about for the last week or so, SGI8. SGI8 is going to be this Saturday, the 9th of October. The usual place, Maryhill Community Halls. It's going to be opening at 5 o'clock, so doors open 5 o'clock. First fight is going to be the 8-man openweight tournament quarterfinal. That's going to be kicking off 5:45. So promises to be a fantastic event from start to finish. As I said, we're going to start with the quarterfinal of that 8-man tournament, move into some singles matches, have a semi-final of the 8-man tournament, and then obviously headlining with the final of that same tournament. Now, guys, I can't stress this enough. Tickets are only available from Scottish Grappling on the Eventbrite page. Now, reasons for that, as I keep saying, it is a council-run building, and the council are very, very strict when it comes to track and trace. So you can only get your tickets from them. Do not turn up on a night expecting to get a ticket, because you will be sent packing. You will not be getting in the door if you do turn up on a night. So make sure Eventbrite through the Scottish Grappling page. So, as I said, fantastic event. This 8-man tournament is the one that everybody's talking about. We've got 8 fantastic competitors ready to throw down. So, obviously, my guest tonight is one of these competitors that's going to be in that, Dylan Nooney of Team Torres. So, Dylan, as we're going to hear, recently back from Rome, took gold in Rome at, I believe, is it the AJP tour?
Yeah.
So just took gold over there in Rome. So he's got a shiny new medal around his neck to add to the collection. So Dylan, as I said, he's going to be in this 8-man tournament. And Dylan came in, I think you came in last week. You were announced last week.
Yes.
So just at the end of last week. So Dylan's ready to come over and show what he's got and show what Team Torres are all about. So Dylan, listen, absolute pleasure to have you on, buddy. How you doing?
Not too bad. Thanks for having me on.
No, listen, absolute pleasure. So yeah, for you then, I mean, as I say, just back from Rome. So Rome for you, obviously taking the gold medal out there. I mean, how was it being again out there competing out in Rome or internationally or competing in general?
Well, I was very happy to get that, because since COVID, that was actually the first competition out of the UK that I'd done. And obviously it's up in the air with the IBJJF if stuff like the Europeans are going to happen. So we were going into this, me and my training partners, almost like this is our Europeans. Yeah. So everything was just being optimized. We're training hard. We're coming over ready to put on a show, and I was happy to get a good result at it.
Yeah, definitely. What's the medal like for the AJP tour? Because I know IBJJF medals are absolutely beautiful. I've got a couple of IBJJF medals tucked away. So what's the medal look like for the AJP tour?
Oh, they're lovely. They're nice and engraved on the front and on the back. It's almost like a lightning bolt. I don't know if that's intentional, but it makes it look that wee bit cooler. Obviously AJP Tour and then Continental Pro name on the back, and then the Italian and Abu Dhabi flags on the banner. It was lovely.
Yeah.
Happy with it.
Yeah, definitely. You looked well. You looked good when you were over there. Obviously, I've seen some of the pictures and so on that you were putting back. So as they definitely looked happy to be back out there internationally competing again.
Yeah.
So, and then for you, I mean, in regards to your training, so now that we're officially back training, I mean, what's the training situation like? Because obviously in Scotland, I mean, we just opened back up. It was a bit of touch and go if we were getting open or not, but we seem to be okay now. Everybody seems to be training properly. I mean, what's it like for you guys over there?
Well, before May, I was doing virtually nothing. The odd bit of garage training, but really nothing consistent. So at the end of May, we got the approval to open up contact sports, obviously with mitigations and stuff in place. But after that, I signed up to a competition in July, and I was just, right, it's go time. I just want to hit this hard as I can, straight back away. So training all the time.
Yeah. And what about your teammates? Good to have, obviously, been back amongst the teammates and things like that.
Yeah, like a lot of them I hadn't seen for the guts of 2 years, because we were open for a wee bit last summer, But obviously at the time, there was a lot of people who were just still that wee bit uneasy about coming back to contact sport. So there's a lot of people I was getting to see for the first time in a couple of years. So it was brilliant.
Yeah. Nah. And what about you? Because obviously I know that this is probably the same for every gym, but obviously you've got the guys. I mean, especially in my gym, all we do is we slag each other off. We're in group chats, and do you know what I mean, that's all we do. I think we just spend. Obviously, we do a little bit of training, but the most of the time we just spend just taking the piss out of each other. So
yeah,
same with you.
That's the exact same. Like my teammate Mark Hartmill, the amount of abuse he gives me near every day, and I be fairly passive. I would give a bit of slagging, but I'm not that type of person. But Mark just rips into me from the moment I get in the car to the moment we go home. It's just all the time.
Yeah,
it could be any small thing, any small thing.
And that's the thing. I mean, obviously your teammates, I'd say they'll give you a hard time and they'll slag us off, but then they won't let anybody else slag you off. So
no, like don't get me wrong, Mark is my best friend.
Yeah.
It's all in good nature. I always got a wee bit of a shock because I joined my club when I was only about 14. So I was sort of shielded from it till I got a wee bit older. But as soon as I turned like 16, 17, 18, it was almost like a shock. It was like the floodgates just opened and even the coaches and everything was just boom. Yeah. Straight away, I was like, oh, there's a whole new world that I didn't even know about here.
Listen, that's brilliant. I mean, I love that. I mean, I've been over to America and training like California and stuff like that. And even the guys over in California, they all slag each other off. And wherever I've been, anywhere in the world, training jiu-jitsu, and it's exactly the same. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what it is. I mean, obviously it's a gym thing. Is it a jiu-jitsu thing? So, but as I say, that's one of the reasons why for me going training, that's one of the reasons it makes me come back is because the people you train with.
Yeah.
So, and then what about you? I mean, obviously the 8-man tournament we've got coming up on Saturday. All right. So as I say, you were brought in last week, and what's have you been over to Glasgow before?
No, first time.
First time. So Glasgow is very, very similar to where you are. I mean, as I said, it's there's no really difference between like Northern Ireland or Southern Ireland, and Glasgow is very, very similar kind of people and stuff like that. So, and then SGI. So, how did you find out about SGI? How did the matchups come about for you?
Well, the matchmaker just put up a post on Facebook saying we had a guy drop out, and I just seen that, and I was on to him straight away, just because I'm just feeling very hungry at the moment. I just want to compete against anybody, anywhere, anytime. So the moment that went up, I was straight away. I was actually just about to hop onto the mats at training and just opened up my phone, seen the post, and I was like, straight away, even before I started warming up, I had to run and get the text in just to make sure. And I'm glad I did.
Yeah. And what about the guys? Some of the guys that are in it then, do you know much about the guys, or is it something that you're not really worried about who's in it, just worrying about your own game?
I'm not worried about them, but I do know some of them. I know Ed Ingemells. I fought Mark McQueen at a grappling industries a couple of months ago. I just remember trying to move him, and then I was like, oh, God, really, really strong. But he put in a serious performance that day. He's a beast.
Yeah.
And Aidan Stephen, I'd be a big sort of fan of Cage Warrior, so I've seen all his fights. And, yeah, he's a good grappler. So, yeah, good names in the bracket.
Yeah. There's a lot of good names. Owen Livesy's in there as well. Owen Livesey, if you don't know, 2014, Commonwealth gold judo medalist. So coming with obviously some crazy takedowns and stuff like that.
Yeah.
we're going to see. So and then obviously your matchup. So do you know who you're matched up against with first?
Yeah, I've got Aidan Stephen. Found out today, and I seen that, and I was like, yeah, I'd be happy. I'm really happy with that because I've seen Aidan's fights before, and he's got really slick grappling, very good Kimura traps. So, yeah, I was kind of hoping to get a match with him, so should be good.
Yeah, Aiden's a top grappler as well. As I said, you see him in grappling in Cage Warriors, and as I said, he's got a really, really nice style to watch. So, and
Yeah.
obviously you as well. I mean, obviously I've been watching a few videos of yours over the last kind of few days as well, and as I said, very, very good style as well. So again, it's one of these matchups to put you guys together. Is going to be an exciting matchup.
Yeah.
Promises to be a very, very exciting matchup. So. And
Can't
then what
wait.
about out of the 8-man tournament? I mean, is there anybody looking at obviously the list of names? Obviously, you said obviously Aiden, you were excited about facing Aiden, but is there anybody that you're excited that you would want to see across from you in that 8-man tournament, or anybody you don't want to see? Don't want to see at all.
Well, I'm coming over here with the intention of beating everybody, but obviously, I probably there's two people, the two toughest in the bracket for me. I think it'd be Ed Ingemels and Mark McQueen. Obviously, so yeah, either of them. I'd love to get a match with either of them. Just try and show my stuff.
Definitely, definitely. And then what about obviously yourself then? So I mean, what are we looking forward to seeing from you then in the future? I mean, because I know that you mentioned obviously IBJJF comps, you were at the AJP tour, and obviously you do submission onlys as well. I mean, what would you like to see from yourself going forward?
Well, to tell you the truth, the way I was a couple of years ago, I wasn't one of these people who just took to jiu-jitsu naturally. I was just incredibly stubborn. Like throughout the white and blue belt, I just got smashed every time. So in all honesty, I'm just happy to have reached the point where I am now. Especially over these last couple of months, I feel like I've just hit a wee bit of a different level in my training and my competition. So I'm just excited to see where it goes. I'm going to keep chipping away, and I just want to hit my ceiling wherever that is. And it seems like it's going in the right direction. So keep going.
Definitely, definitely. And what about you? I mean, if you had to have a dream matchup, right? So any jiu-jitsu practitioner on the planet, whether they're alive or dead, who would you ever want to see in front of you?
Well, not right now in my current stage of development, but down the line, when I've reached my potential, I'd love a matchup with the likes of Gary Tonin or Tyro Tolo, or actually a good one, Andrew Wiltsey. I'd love to get a match with Andrew Wiltsey eventually, some of them Daisy Fresh boys.
Yeah. The Daisy, I watched the documentary about them, and there's some crazy fuckers coming out of there, man.
Yeah.
So, and it's the way they live as well. I mean, these guys eat, sleep, breathe jiu-jitsu. I mean, and I think it's like, it reminds you of old school jiu-jitsu. If you ever watched things like Hensel Gracie back in the day, and when they spoke about their mum and dad moved out the house and they left all the kids in the house, like Hensel and Hickson, and they all stayed in the house. And what they did was they threw all the furniture out and they just put mats everywhere all over this house. And they used to bring people in just to roll, and they would do MMA fights, and it was crazy. It was an absolute mad house, and that reminds me of the Daisy Fresh guys. So they're very, very similar. When I watched that documentary on them, they were very, very similar. So
do
you ever fancy getting out there, going out to see it? Because I know you like traveling, you enjoy traveling. So
well, I've been I have family over in New York, so I've been a couple of times to train at Marcelo's and the Hensel Gracie Academy with some of the Danaher boys a wee bit. So I've been able to pick up wee bits of knowledge. So I definitely want to get back out there again. I've got family out in America, so might as well go out. Maybe try something new this time. Maybe try Unity, one of those gyms. I'm happy enough just to go anywhere I can and just pick up bits of knowledge. Like there's bits that stayed with me from going to Marcelo's. There's aspects of the game that stuck with me from going to Henzo's, and it's just all come together with what I've been learning here back at home nicely.
Nice. And then, what about you then? So anybody you want to shout out to? So obviously friends, family members, teammates, anybody at all?
Well, primarily just everybody at Team Torres, my coaches, Sebastian Torres, Cormac O'Hanlon, Andrew McGahan, all of my training partners, particularly Mark Hartmill, Chris Jelf, Dave Patton, Gary Keenan, and just all these guys who just push me the best I can day by day. Wrestling coach as well, Nooney, who's he's a beast, and he's a big reason why I don't pull guard as much anymore. So big shout out to him. And my sponsors, the Recovery Club Nooney and Jimmy's Cafe, for all their support.
Nice one. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, Dylan. Absolute buzzing to see you coming over.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I love guys coming over and from different places, because obviously in Scotland, I mean, we've got people coming over from all over the place to whether it be train or doing competitions and stuff like that. So always love seeing new styles of jiu-jitsu coming in, and so I'm buzzing to see you. Absolutely buzzing to see you.
Thank you.
And glad you got a match up against Aiden as well. As I said, it's definitely this is going to be in it. You guys will be. I believe you guys will be the first match of the night then. So
I think it's the second, but it's right at the start, yeah.
Right. So you guys are the second match on, so it's going to be great. So guys, listen, SGI8 this Saturday. Come and see this. As I said, it's going to be a fantastic event from start to finish. So Dylan Nooney, part of the 8-man tournament. So Team Torres going to be coming up against Aiden Stephen in the first match. So make sure you're there and see this, because this is going to be an absolute brilliant match to watch. So Dylan, again, absolute pleasure, buddy. I'll be there Saturday, so we'll definitely catch up and get a chat on Saturday.
Definitely. See you then. Thanks for having me on.
Take it easy, buddy.
Bye.